Report, and we have an update now on the Wilbraham shooting that sent a police officer and the suspect to the hospital with gunshot wounds Saturday night.
Western Mass News reporter Glenn Kittle joins us live in studio with the latest details. Glenn?
Yeah, Chris, Abby, Wilbraham Police Chief Edward Lennon told Western Mass News just hours ago Officer Prosperi remains hospitalized in stable condition and is showing signs of improvement. The Hampden County Sheriff's Office tells us the suspect, 53-year-old Michael Ortega, is still hospitalized, but his condition has also improved. Ortega is accused of shooting 29-year-old Wilbraham police officer Cameron Prosperi when he responded to a call of a man threatening others inside an old carriage drive home on Saturday night. Both men suffered gunshot wounds during that amounted to be an hours-long standoff. We're told with Ortega's condition improving, he has now been assigned an attorney, and we're being told he could be arraigned as soon as next week. Ortega has been charged with assault with intent to murder and assault with a dangerous weapon. There is an online fundraiser up and running to help Prosperi and his family pay for medical expenses. The fundraiser has amassed over $33,000 in donations so far. If you want to donate, we'll have a link on our website at westernmassnews.com. Reporting live in the studio, Glenn Kittle for Western Mass News.
All right.